Hello there everybody, Sam's Trains here, welcome back to the railway and welcome back to another Diesel Month review. Today we're going to be looking at this Bachmann 04 Shunter, which I did show on Saturday's running session, but today I thought I would review it for you because everybody seemed to like it. So yeah, this was an eBay purchase and I think I paid £37 for this one, which isn't bad actually, but the listing said that this was as new condition and so I thought that was a good price. Anyway, the loco came and it really wasn't in good condition. There was little bits broken off it. It was missing the detail pack which had the handrails and it looks a little bit odd without them, and also it didn't run very well. In fact, I don't think it ran at all. I had to spend quite a long time to get this thing to actually run. So I just felt, I'd been a little bit ripped off on this. So I got in touch with the seller and said, you said this was in new condition. It really isn't, so can I have some money back on it please? Because I wouldn't have bid that much for it if I'd have known that there was bits missing and everything. So yeah, he was very good and he said, yeah, you can have £15 back. So I paid around £25 for this. So although it isn't in fantastic condition, I'm really quite pleased with that. So it isn't too bad. Okay, here's the end of the box there. Now this is 31-336A 04 diesel shunter D2258, which is the running number, BR blue with the wasp stripes. So yes, that's what this one is. And yeah, it is a lovely little thing. And this is one that everybody was saying, you should get an 04 shunter and unbox it. So I did do, and I agree, they are lovely little things. Okay, so what have we got in the box then? Right, well, first of all, you've got this card, which has the 04, a lovely photo of it on the front there, very nice. And on the back, you've just got a little bit of a history card there, which you can pause if you'd like to. And there's also a nice little diagram of the loco there, so that's quite nice. Then we've got the guarantee, which isn't really worth looking at. And then you have the very interesting exploded diagram there, which shows the inside of the engine, as I know all too well, because I've had to open this one up to get it to work. And there you can see all those handrails, which are supposed to be in there, but they're not. So yeah, it's a little bit of a shame about that, but I can live with it, of course. Okay, so there she is then in the little styrofoam block. As you can see, the lovely BR blue shunter. Let me get this one out. And yeah, she's not absolutely perfect, of course not, but yeah, I do still think it's a very nice little thing, and for £25 or thereabouts, it is very nice. And there you can see the wasp stripes on the front and the back, of course. Very lovely little thing. Anyway, I'm going to get this reviewed in just a second, but first of all, here's a little bit of brief history on the 04s for you. So first of all, a quick shout out to Chris 2004, Amory Junction and Squad Oil. Thank you very much for getting in touch, guys. So the 04 as a class was introduced in 1952, and though the prototype, the first sort of version of them, was actually built in 1948. The class ran on a 24-litre Gardner engine with a 5-speed gearbox, but they were only capable of reaching around 27 miles per hour at the most, which is a little bit like the 08 Shunter, isn't it? The Shunters were distributed all over Britain for several years, and a total of 142 were built. They were eventually withdrawn in the late 1960s in favour of the very similar Class 03, though luckily 18 of the 04s do still survive in preservation. So there she is then, the very lovely Bachmann 04 Shunter, and as I say, yeah, she's not perfect, but I think the price I paid for her now is just about right. Anyway, I'm going to look at all the various details and stuff in just a second, but the one very interesting thing about this shunter in particular is that you can see these little connecting rods here go back behind the steps. And behind there, it doesn't actually connect to another wheel, but rather a counterweight, which I assume in real life would have balanced the wheel set a little bit. But yeah, that does actually go round, and it's quite unusual to see that, really. And yeah, as I say, I didn't realise it had that until it came, so that's quite interesting. But anyway, as you can tell, it is a very, very nicely painted model, and I do think the BR Blue is extremely attractive. As you can tell, the wasp stripes are done very nice and cleanly, well, fairly cleanly, they're not too bad, and I think that is a very, very nice effect. There are quite a few separately fitted parts as well. As you can see, around the front buffer beam we do have lamp irons. Well, you would have done at some point. Most of these have been broken off, but I think that one there is intact. And you also do have sprung buffers. Let me show you. Yeah, which is quite nice because it's not the most modern loco out there. So yeah, sprung buffers is a very nice touch. And you've got loads of moulded detail, as you can see here, where the engine would be. Plenty of moulding there, as well as the little warning signs, which I don't think are legible, but they look the part, don't they, anyway. And all the way around the cab you also have glazed windows, which I suppose is a given for a model of this quality. But inside you can see there's a little driver been put in there. I assume that wouldn't have come like that from the factory, but obviously the previous owner must have done that. Now on the front of the cab you can see there's a little hole there, and I'm wondering whether something like a horn maybe would have been there originally. So if any of you guys know what should be there, if anything, do let me know, but my guess is the horn anyway. Round the back then she has more lovely wasp stripes, which again very nicely applied, and at this time some moulded lamp irons, which means they are still intact, which is a bit of a bonus for this model. And also, as you can see, there is a separately fitted handrail on the back there. But yeah, I think it speaks for itself really. You can probably just about tell how much detail this thing has got, and it is quite a nice thing to see going around on the track, I must say. So let's do that now then. Let's get her down onto the rails with a few other locos and see how she performs, shall we? Okay, so there is the 04 all down onto the track and ready to go with some tanker wagons, and I'm going to get her tested in just a second. On the middle line we have the 08 Shunter, which is also a Bachmann one, and she's got some empty wagons. And then on the inside line, you can just about see her there, this is the high mech, and she's going to be pulling a passenger train today. So anyway then, let's get the 04 tested. I'm just going to give her a little bit of juice on the controller and see how she goes. There we go, you can just about see her moving there. Now the thing is, the 08 Shunter, the green one, is a very slow locomotive too, of course, and oh, she's stopped on the points. But no matter how fast you make the 08 go on the controller, she will always go fairly slowly. And this 04 isn't quite like that, and she's struggling a bit because she's on the express points. But yeah, this one can fly quite quickly, which I suppose isn't quite as realistic as the 08. But as you can tell, she can be made to do quite a good slow speed shunt. But yeah, she isn't fantastic on the express points, as you can tell. Anyway, let's get her off then. I'll just give her a little push and get her going. There we go. Try and keep it nice and steady. And the 08, oh, she's going the wrong way. There we go. Keep her good and steady as well. And finally then, the high mech. Let's see which way she's going. Oh, also the wrong way. It's a full house. Okay, enjoy the running session, everybody. And I forgot to mention as well, see which others you can spot on the track, and see which of them, sorry, is the odd one out, because there is an odd one out today, so yep, have fun spotting those. But for now, there she goes, the 04, off into the distance. There's the 08 going nice and steadily. And I didn't show this before, but it is quite a big train, as you can see. Quite a lot of different wagons going on there. Now the 04 should be appearing quite soon, and she's actually going to be going a different route today. But that does also mean that she's got to go over the points and things with these tankers. And she'll almost certainly derail. And I'm saying that to tempt fate in the hope that she won't, but I bet she will. Oh no, so far so good. So yeah, she's going up beyond the church, as you can see. There she comes. Oh, there's the high mech, see if I can get her in. Yep, she's going a bit quicker than the rest. And then there goes the 04 back round onto the main line. Yep, nice to see some shunters going, isn't it? I hope to do a diesel shunter running session one day. Alright, here are my ratings then for the 04. Detail 8 out of 10, performance 8 out of 10, character 7 out of 10, build quality 8 out of 10, value 9 out of 10, which gives her overall 7.91 out of 10, and into the rankings she goes, making her a nice round 30th, just above the class 110 and below the manor class. See if I can follow her around. Well, there you have it then, everybody. A nice slow running session, made a little bit more speedy by the high mech, I suppose, or the class 35. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for your company once again. I do very much appreciate it, and I will see you next time. So if you'd like to, check out the Facebook and Twitter pages, and those are at facebook.com/samstrains or twitter.com/samstrains. But for now, folks, that's it. Thank you very much once again, and I will see you soon. Cheers, everybody.